This right here for the fashion killers, all model women and all the bill tippers, all the go-getters, all the big spenders, all the go-getters.
What's happening? This is the Tap In Podcast. We are live inside of the Tap In studio, man. We got a special guest in the building, all the way from the boot.
You dig?
Allay Earhart.
Why?
What's happening, man?
Man, I'm coolin'. Thank you for having me, brother.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
For sure, man. I see you brought somebody with you, man.
Yes.
Introduce who is this and who is he to you, man?
Man, this is my homie. This is my brother. This is my crew right here. You know what I'm saying? He's an incredible creative, like all the way around. And if you don't know who I'm talking about Chef J. Alexander.
Okay, what's up, Chef? What's going on?
How y'all doing, man? I'm good today. How y'all feeling?
We chilling, man. We chilling. Y'all so motherfucking cool. Y'all niggas is so goddamn cool. Man.
What's the word?
Man, I want to get into your story, man, because I've seen you online, and I really can't get like a good feel, like, because I see you doing a lot of like philanthropy stuff and like giving back, and then I also know you're an artist.
Yeah.
So let's go from the beginning, man. Like, where you from? I could tell you from New Orleans.
Already.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I could tell from just the accent. But what part of New Orleans are you from?
Uptown Calliope Projects.
Oh, you were born in the projects?
In the projects.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
That's the same project Master P come up from.
Yeah. The famous project.
You dig?
Yeah, okay. And what was it like back then growing up in the projects, man? Well, like, how were you as a kid?
Man, growing up in the project, it was a great experience, honestly, because it shaped and molded me to the person I am today. It's like, on the outside looking in, it might be the negative stigma of, man, it's just chaotic back there. But it was really loving. It was embraced, you know what I'm saying? I learned so much, especially in my section. Like, there was a lot of wisdom, you feel me? Like, people made their choices to do what they wanted to do, but at the same time, it's like, it was a real village. I think after they knocked the projects down in New Orleans, it was no longer a village of people like looking out for each other, because now you just living amongst whoever and wherever.
Yeah. That's the missing thing about living in the projects, when you so close to people.
Yes.
That you become like really like family, even with the neighbors. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah.
And then my great grandma, she moved from St. Francisville, Louisiana, which is the neighboring city to Angola, right? So Angola state penitentiary. So my grandmother, she was like picking cotton and stuff like as a teenager. You feel me? Yeah, 100%. So like she moved from that, and she was one of the first people to move into the Calliope Projects as they was developing it,
Wow.
So yeah, that's how we ended up being in New Orleans from my mama's side.
Okay. You got any siblings?
I do. I have a total of 5 siblings. I have a baby brother that passed away a few years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry about that,
yeah,
man.
he was killed. Thank you, but he was killed by his cousin from a gunshot to the head. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm really passionate about the youth and making sure that we lead them in a way to where they're not impressionable with these false identities out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can you speak on what happened? How his cousin, or is your cousin
It's
too?
his cousin.
Okay.
So like, my baby brother's name is Amaya Brown, right? So him and I had the same dad, different moms. You know what I mean? So his cousin on his mom's side, they was pretty much young boys that was playing with a gun, right? But unfortunately, his cousin shot him and then ran away, actually to LA. You know what I'm saying? But he was just captured recently, and now they're going through the proceedings. But
really,
yeah, man. I remember when I got that call, I was like, I thought they was playing when they said it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because him and I had just started getting back on speaking terms. You feel me? And yeah, it's just something that I live with every day now. I just like want to make sure I'm living in my purpose and helping that next young brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you said you have 5 brothers and sisters?
Yeah. So I'm the oldest out of 6.
Okay.
My pops had 6. Yeah. My younger brother, Jamine, Alan. I got Amani. That her birthday was just yesterday. I call her Penny because she 1 to 1. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Amaya, and then the baby sister Amari. You know what I mean? So that's all of us.
Okay. And y'all all grew up together, like in?
Well, not in the same household, but my dad definitely made sure that we all kept that bond. You know what I'm saying? We always spent time. But me and my younger sister, whose birthday was yesterday, Penny, like we live in the same house because we got the same mom and dad. You dig? So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, man, the Calliope Projects. So, cause I know when I hear projects, I just hear a lot of negative stigmas. What is it? What's the word? Stigmas.
Yeah.
On just fighting, shooting,
Right.
drug dealing. Was it any of that? Was there any temptation for you to get into?
Of course.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I go like make it seem like it was all peaches and creams, but it also wasn't all bad. You dig? It was like what I respected back then was the older cats. They made sure that they excluded us from seeing certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? As much as they could. So even if it was about to go down, they'll let everybody know like y'all go inside. You feel me? And like, you know. Just it wasn't disrespect. I remember my grandma, she used to be telling some of the, you know, drug dealers or whatnot, pull your pants up. All right, Miss Sylvia, I got, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was still respect. It was respectable. And I was one that was always asked to, man, come here, Al, like, you know, come hop in the car with us, whatever the case may be. But they just seen, I guess, the maturity that I had at a young age. So I had the choice to do whatever. Plus my uncle, he was a real like big dog at that time during his era. So it was like, is he gonna be next up in line? You feel me? But I just took a different path.
Yeah, dang. And when did you finally move out of the projects, or when did the family kind of get out of it?
So
Are they still
the
there?
family really still there. You know what I'm saying? But it was one of them things where when Katrina happened, you know, we moved all over the place. You know, so but the ties are still in the project. Like I was still back there. Damn that every day, going after school, you know what I'm saying, every weekend, like I'm just in the project. That's my family, up until a certain point, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, okay. Man, I want you to talk about Katrina, man, because here's the thing. Back then, when Katrina was happening, right, even within 6 months to a year later, right, New Orleans folks was dispersed everywhere. And New Orleans folks was raining havoc on all these different cities in America.
That's a fact.
I remember when T.I. was talking about how they came to Atlanta and was robbing motherfuckers. I remember Houston. When I had just moved from Houston around that, like I want to say like 6 months before Katrina, I moved back to L.A. And I was living in Houston. And I remember my homeboys calling back, and my homeboys, it was like, these niggas is out here terrorizing Houston. I don't know if I never really heard anything about Dallas, but I know a lot of people from New Orleans moved to Dallas too. I want to hear from your side, man. What was that like being uprooted from what you knew called home? You know what I'm saying?
I want to show you that picture real quick before we get into it. And maybe we could show the camera as well if it's a little
I'll put it on there.
Okay.
What is this?
So that's a photo of my pops and I for Hurricane Katrina. Right?
That's your dad and you?
Yeah.
Straight up?
Straight up. So like that was, Katrina was on my birthday, August 29th, 2005, right? So I was turning 9 at that time. That was my 9th birthday. So mind you, like every year before that, I never really had a birthday party because it used to always rain. I guess because of the region that we in, is New Orleans is always, you know, it's tropical, you know what I mean? So yeah, this was the year, ironically, I was really looking forward to like having a grand birthday, you dig? Like, man, I'm about to get me a LeBron James jersey. I'm about to get a, you dig? Like a basketball cake, all type of stuff I was just, you know, wishing and hoping for. I just recall us being in the environment where it was love again to what now is, what are we gonna do, right? So we went to the Superdome. That's where that picture was, you know, taken from or whatnot. And I actually was dehydrated in that photo because I didn't eat or drink in a few days, right? So they were trying to get all of the people in one line or 1 or 2 lines, like separate the men from the women and children in order for us to get on the bus to evacuate. But, you know, people weren't going for that. Like, even my pops, like, that's when I really seen what manhood was, right? When my pops stood up and like, man, y'all got us fucked up. I'm not leaving my children, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So, by me passing out, like they was pushing me over the crowd to get to the front, like passing me along like on top of the crowd. And that's how we was like the first people to get on the bus because it was like, all right, we gonna let them get on type thing, you know what I'm saying? we left.
Where was y'all going on the
so
bus?
we didn't even know. They were just like, y'all get on the bus. A lot of people, that's how it happened. So many people got displaced and separated from their families because they didn't know where they was going. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, but we ended up arriving at the Astrodome in Houston. So we was there like a half a day. Let's say we got there in the evening time. By the next morning, we was gone, right? We had gathered some money to get a flight, and we was gonna go to Atlanta. So as we on the flight to head to Atlanta, we get a layover in Dallas, right? So that was my first time in Dallas. Now I don't know what happened to where we didn't have enough money to get to whatever else place we was trying to go, but there was a lady by the name of Miss April. I don't know her last name, but I'm always remember her first name. She was gracious enough to, give us the money, you know what I'm saying? Because she was working at the airline. I got to confirm my mom. It was either Southwest or American, but I feel like it was Southwest. And that was my first time getting like the little wings that the flight attendants and all that give to people, or the pilot. Yeah, that was my first time. I lost that shit, but yeah. But yeah, man, so that's why Dallas really have a special place in my heart, because that was the first time I seen somebody like give back, you feel me, in the time of need. Like, we really didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
And for her to do that, that was like, man, so, they really got loving people in this world, you dig?
Yeah.
So, from there, we got to Atlanta, the hotel we was living in. That's what Tyler Perry, like, he was paying for our hotel. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know if you know, but Tyler Perry from New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I got the utmost respect for him as well, because when he had the resources, when he seen his people in need, he was willing to share his resources. You see what I'm saying? So it was a lot, man. I don't even know if I answered your question.
No, you have. You actually gave more than what I asked, but I love that, because a lot of, I know back then it was like, damn, these New Orleans people is wreaking havoc, but when you don't know where the fuck you gonna eat at, where you gonna sleep at, it's like self-preservation.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It was a scarcity mindset too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we coming from a place where, it's not abundance. So once we get to the Atlantas and the Houstons, like, damn, they doing it big out here compared to where we come from. So it's like, I already don't know what I'm about to eat tomorrow or how, because FEMA playing games, you know what I'm saying, all type of stuff. Like, I remember hearing these conversations from the older people that I was around, like being on the buses, being in the Astrodome. They like, man, I'm just trying to eat. You feel me? So that's really where that mindset come from.
Damn, man. Did it moving or going to Atlanta? Did you really, at 9 years old, did you really get to see, like, damn, we are living in, like, literally, like, poverty in living in New Orleans?
Hell yeah. Like, that's the thing. It's like, although I was 9, I was always fortunate enough to be around older people who set me down and, like, challenged my mind, you dig? Because I grew up with my grandma, like I said, and just being raised by the community. So I was observing and understanding of what was going on. Even though I might not understand every single component, but a good bit of it was like, damn, this shit is crazy.
Once they started to try to rebuild New Orleans, did you want to go back at that point?
I think we all did, in a sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was different, I ain't gonna lie, because, like, Atlanta was the first time I went to a concert, right? Because they had a benefits concert. I'll never forget this. It was like Usher, T.I. T.I. was one of my favorite rappers at one time, you know what I'm saying? We got the same last name, so I used to be like, man, that's my big cousin, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That was like one of Chris Brown's, like, early performances, you dig? So it was just being exposed to different scenery, and I'm like, Atlanta is where it happens at, you feel me? So I liked and loved Atlanta, but, there's no place like home, so we was ready to come back. We was back by my next birthday.
Really?
Yeah, within a year. We probably lived like 8 different cities within that year.
Damn.
Yeah.
What all cities did you go to?
Man, we was, all right, so Houston, right? We lived in Houston. We lived in Atlanta. We lived in Austin, Texas, right? We lived in St. Francisville. Where else we went at? BR for a minute.
What's BR?
Baton Rouge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where else we was at? I guess you can consider this Houston in a sense, but Katy, because it was like 2 different places we lived within that time period, but I guess they consider that as a different
How long
section.
was you at each place? Was it like months that you...
Yeah, it was months, but Atlanta was the longest though. Atlanta and Austin, I feel, were like the longest durations. Yeah. But like I said, it was crazy because now that I was calculating all that stuff, I'm like, we moved all these places and was back by August 29th of 2006. You see what I'm saying?
Damn. Yeah.
And I got a chance to see the whole landscape change from pre-Katrina to post-Katrina. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Golly. And was there a specific reason? I don't even know if you may even know. Was there a specific reason why you guys had to move from different cities, or was it just the government moving you guys until they could get you guys back to New Orleans?
Well, from my understanding, because I asked these questions to my moms as well, it was more so, needing the resources, and we were finding some of our family members. So when we was in Atlanta, we didn't really have that much family there, you know what I'm saying? But once we started, getting in touch with people, we found out some people in St. Francisville, some people over here in Houston, some people over, you know what I mean? So we just started going where our family was at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you eventually find everybody? You guys all?
Yeah, we all good.
Okay.
Everybody good. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, I can't say that I lost anybody in the storm. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Damn. I remember that time, and it was crazy. Just the whole, just imagine. I don't even know. Like Katrina was a big thing, right? And I'm just trying to go back to that time, and just think like, damn, all them people from New Orleans are now in fucking Utah, in
Right.
Seattle, in fucking Maine. They just sending them different places, and just I can't even imagine. Now one day I'm living with my mom, I'm a sister over here, dad over there, and then next thing you know, where are they? You know what I'm saying? Where in America are they? Where they been shipped to? Yeah, that was a crazy time, man.
Let me correct myself, matter of fact, because I had to think about it. My great grandmother that I was telling you about, that was picking cotton, her name is Jessie Jackson, right? Jessie Mae Jackson. So she's actually a person that I did lose during the storm. Yeah, I lost my grandmother during that time period. But another thing that stood out to me was when they was calling us refugees. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really understand what that term meant at the time, but it's like, now that I'm older, I felt like that was, like real intentional and caused a lot of division. So that's why New Orleans had this mentality versus, like, it's New Orleans versus the world type thing, you dig? Like, some people may be like, well, why y'all don't accept Baton Rouge? It's only about an hour away. Y'all act like y'all not a part of Louisiana. Because you'll hear a lot of people from New Orleans say, we from New Orleans, we not from Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? But I think that mindset comes from, of course, there were people that I've seen that was helping in that time period. But when you get called a refugee, it's like, damn, y'all acting like we not even from America. You know what I'm saying? So, that stood out to me as a kid.
Man. So let's fast forward, man. So when did you get into music? At what point? At what age?
Yeah.
When did you start tapping into that side?
Man, it's like I always been interested in music. I have an AT by the name of Miss T, right? So she was the first lady that signed to Cash Money Records back then. You know what I'm saying? And she had a lot of success in that region. So I just was always around. Like I said, again, Master P. Being from the Calliope, it's like I used to go outside, hear the music, go in the store, see the chips, because Rap Snacks been a thing. You did?
Has it?
Yeah, it been a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Then I go inside and watch Lil Romeo on TV. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just was always influenced in that sense. And, as a kid, my reason for wanting to rap, though, I ain't gonna lie, my first girlfriend, like, she was in love with Lil Bow Wow. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show this nigga. You know what I mean? So that was my original reason. Yeah. I had to. But yeah, so like that was the, the immature reason why, but I just always loved it. They used to have me outside rapping. Like, people used to come to my grandma do, you know what I'm saying? Tell her, L, come rap right quick. Like, that was real life stuff that happened, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in terms of why I'm doing it now, a big reason, my dad played a part in it, as well as I have a cousin by the name of Sadiq Navarro, right? So Sadiq, he was killed on Earhart Boulevard, which is a street that runs basically the whole uptown, but it starts by the Calliope, right?
Mm-hmm.
And ironically enough, he was killed by like one of our childhood friends. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to pay homage to him in a sense, you know what I mean? So that's why I added that Earhart on the end of it, because he was one of the people when I first started that believed in me. You know what I mean? Like, just period.
Yeah.
He just believed in me. They didn't even have to be music. Like, I just know you're gonna be great. You feel me? My dad though, you know, he was a real like father figure, but also highly respected in the streets, right? So I used to look up to him, wanting to do everything he wanted, everything he was doing. You feel me? So when he was selling drugs, like, I really had in my mind one day I'm gonna be like him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Cause he was young when he had me. He was like 15, so he had to grow up as well. I used to be on the block with him on St. Philip Street in the 6th Ward, like seeing him make transactions and all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once he got to a certain point of maturity, you know, he started like basically putting down certain game on me. You know what I mean? Like, he don't want me to go this path, and he bought me a audio box, Focusrite. That was the first piece of equipment I ever had, right? And I didn't really understand the importance of that at the time. You dig? He used to be like, man, I don't want you going in the project. But in my mind, it just, I'm around my cousins, I'm around my friends, I'm just having fun. But eventually I came to see that, you know, just being in that environment 24/7 can lead to you repeating the cycle. So once my cousin got killed, that was the whole reason. I was like, man, I need to express myself. You feel me? Like, tell these stories that I've been, you know, holding in for so long, and just everything that I was feeling at that time. It was a real pivotal point. So yeah, man, that's how I really got into music. I didn't really want to be a star or none of that. It was more so I wanted to express my feelings, you dig, and hopefully help somebody else, you know. So that's how it came about, and now we here.
Okay. How did you meet Chef?
Man, you could tell that story.
Pull that mic to you a little bit.
Well, I met Allay through two mutual friends. His business partner,
Shout out Ron Davalos.
Yeah, Ron Davalos, co-founder of Vaku, and my girlfriend, Tia Williams. We were at a Vaku event, and I was like, man, that's Allay. She was like, yeah, you should go speak to him, because she knows everything about me. So she's like, go running with him. So Ryan made the connection. I'm like, all right, cool, you know. And funny thing is, I had sent him some beats before, but like before we had actually met face to face, and he was like, oh yeah, man, it's a nice little R&B vibe. And I'm like, nigga, what? So I was like, I wasn't hesitant of it, but I was just like, you know what? And then I had worked with him prior on just graphic design, so he hadn't even known that I was even, you know, as passionate as I am about music. So we sat down and he heard something. We were this was Friendsgiving.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Friendsgiving, event that we do because we all out here in Dallas. You know, for all our people from New Orleans, we have a Thanksgiving event, and I came through my my equipment, and I was like, look, you gonna listen.
Yeah. Yeah, he made me listen. Because I'll try to.
He was actually had a project he was trying to release, and he was like, yeah, listen to this, and I was like, all right, you gonna listen to this.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
Okay. That's what's up, man. And y'all been, what year was that when y'all met?
It was like 2 years ago, huh?
2 years ago.
Yeah, because see, his girl Tia, shout out to Tia, she's a real music fanatic. Like, she loves music, you know what I'm saying?
She's
so
like encyclopedia.
Real talk.
Really?
Real talk. So like, I used to be hitting the open mic scenes in New Orleans, just doing whatever I could to get my name out there. And my name started buzzing. And then one day I performed at this festival they had on the prominent street in New Orleans called Aretha Castle Haley, right? And Tia had sent me a video of me performing, and basically just like, hey, I finally got a chance to, you know, catch your live performance or whatnot. You did great, X, Y, and Z. So I thought that was cool, because that was the first time somebody ever did that. I was like, I ain't never know nobody wanted to see me perform, you dig?
Yeah.
So it just so happened when I started coming back and forth to Dallas, like, she was out here, and she was always telling me about Jordan as well. But again, like he said, I didn't know he was into the music, because we just met on some mutual, you know what I mean? Just like, all right, for sure. But man, yeah, we just been locked in ever since. We've been tapped in ever since.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Man, okay. So you in New Orleans at the time when Katrina and all that happened, or you had moved?
Fortunately, my family, my dad, I have a sister that's not with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So she stays in Baton Rouge. So probably I want to say maybe 7 or 6 hours before the storm touched down, my dad like, all right, look, we about to roll out. I'm like, what? We ain't never left for no other storm before. I'm like, what's got you spooked like this? He was like, might as well go. We're gonna go out there by your sister. So I was actually staying by my mom at the time. My parents had separated, and he came and picked me and my sister up, Jaden, and we went to Shoney's. I never forget it. And like he was like, y'all have y'all a good breakfast. And he dropped her back off, and we mashed out, and we ain't take I-10, we took like every country road, and it was like a 3-4 hour drive to Baton Rouge, which is normally
it's normally never that.
right, 4.5. It's like 45 minutes, an hour at most. So we on the back roads, finally make it out there. I go clean to sleep soon as I hit Baton Rouge, and like wake up the next morning, everybody just standing up looking at the TV with their hands on their hips. I'm like, what's going on? Right. They like, whoo, it's rough down there. Yeah. I'm like, wow. So my whole family was actually in Baton Rouge watching everything play out.
Damn.
So we were fortunate enough to not have to experience all the hardships that Alvin went through. But, you know, being displaced, you like, so rather we looking at the city, my pop's like, yeah, so what you gonna do about school? I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, you know, this is what you here for. So that's just kicking into that mode. That's what happened for us for that.
Yeah. When did you get into music? Like, when did you start, or even the graphic design side?
I want to say music. It's funny when I was thinking about it when you asked Elvin that question. My dad had an MPC 2000 in our house from the time I could remember. Like it was a great MPC 2000 8-piece, you know, drum machine, and we had it in our game room because we had a pool table in there. But my dad was a DJ when he was younger. It's funny, he DJ'd the World's Fair when it came to New Orleans.
Oh, like 94, huh? 92?
No, I think it was in the 80s.
Probably so.
I think 84, 85.
Yeah, I probably got it mixed up.
Yeah, because that's when they built Fulton Street.
What is the festival? What is it?
It's the World's Fair. Like, they used to have all over America to debut, like, new technology and all the stuff like that. He DJ'd it. Like I said, he was like 15 years old, and he DJ'd a party on Fulton Street when they had first created the street. So, he always had records all over the house, and like I said, I always remember that drum machine. And when I went out to Baton Rouge for the storm, the elementary school that he enrolled me into was a magnet school. So like you had to have an elective, and the elective that I took was band, and I was playing the violin at the time. So
was on them strings.
I was on that clarinet. I thought I was Kenny G back in this day.
If you would have stuck with it, you would have been a bad man. But yeah, I was on the violin for about a year and a half. We stayed out there, and then came back to New Orleans, and my dad put me in. There was this woman, never forget her name, Helen McCafferty. She was on Ursuline Street, right? That's Mid City.
That's well, I know it has been in the 6th ward.
Right, that's what I'm about to say. Yeah. Kind of. So, that's right in the 6th ward where he from. So I was on Ursuline with a old white lady. She had a bed and breakfast. And my dad, I don't know how it's funny, I have no idea how he found this woman.
Yeah.
But that's who I'd had piano lessons with, and I did that from the time I was, I believe, 9 or 10 until I was 14, until I was in high school.
Okay. Damn. I
ain't think that, rather looking back, my father was planting them seeds on me. And he always laugh at me now when I don't send him music. He was like, "No, you got that from?" Huh?
Yeah.
He want his credit, man.
Yeah,
he want his credit. That's what's up, man. Man, so what are y'all plans, man, going forward? Like, what are y'all planning on doing? Is this gonna be like the new Neptunes kind of shit, or what are we doing, man? What's the plan?
Man, we just working at this moment, allowing God to, like, lead the way. Cause all this stuff been divine so far. You know, like I said, him and I meeting and just creating the sounds. Like we just pushing boundaries right now. You know what I'm saying? Like challenging ourselves to create new sounds, but still preserving, you know, what it is that came before us. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I know. We went to Snoop concert when they came down here. Snoop, Cube, you know what I mean? Like those are people that I study, right? Snoop is a person who, like outside of music, his brand is just powerful. So he's someone that I really look up to in terms of like branding wise. That's why I want to take it. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day is being able to use your talents in other areas, you know, but music is the foundation. So yeah.
Yeah. Man, and what is this? I seen you giving away like food and stuff on your IG, man. What is that? What is that, an organization, or is that just something that you just did on your own, or?
Well, I'll put it like this. What you seen recently on IG, that's a collaboration with Four Down Park. So that's a skate park here in Dallas, in the Cedars area, right? So what they do is they rescue waste food, like, you know, food that restaurants and chain stores are going to throw away, and it's fresh, right? So instead of throwing it away, you know, we repackage it up and send it out to the community. You know what I'm saying? But I've been doing work like that though since high school. You know, underneath the collective Vaku. You might have heard that a few times. That's the shirt I'm rocking right now, B.U.B. Vaku. So the term means indescribable happiness, right? The whole basis of it was to share that message through art and charity, right? So, you know, like I said, since 15, 16, I was going downtown New Orleans, uptown New Orleans, like just getting people of my age range and my generation to, come on, man, let's do this together. Everybody putting on their shirts and we going to feed the community, or doing toy and book drive, school giveaway drive, like as teenagers, you know what I'm saying? So when I came to Dallas, you know, I wanted to stay connected with that same thing that I was doing. And just so happened we found some, you know, some people that's like-minded. And actually we met them at the same event where we met you, you know what I'm saying? So that's how all that played it, you know.
Okay. All right. Is that something they do every week, or is it
every Sunday? Sunday service, that's what we call it, Sunday service.
Okay.
And we developing an entertainment show over there now, you know, where Vaku is going to be, you know, the event coordinators, you know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I recently seen that you was performing at the Essence Fest, man.
Yeah.
How was that? How did you even get on that, man?
Man, consistency. You know what I'm saying? It's been years, as we already discussed. I've been had this dream of being, you know, an artist, a performing artist, things of that nature. But I try to keep the story as short as possible.
You don't got to, man. It's a podcast.
For
you
sure.
Make it as long as you want, man.
So, you know, that was a time period where I wasn't really putting myself out there as an artist, because again, I just wanted to have the music speak for itself until I started learning from the business aspect. Like, you're gonna have to show your face one way or another, you know what I'm saying? So one of the things I decided to do was to put together this series called Earhart Express, right? So that was a weekly thing where I just get some classic beats and pay homage to those that came before me, or even some of the current day joints, you know what I'm saying, and just go off, right? So that started to build up some momentum where people like putting a face to the name, you know what I'm saying, and the music, and it just started being shared. Certain celebrities was just like, you know, Missy Elliott, you know what I mean, Currency, the high spitter, shout out to Currency. He was one of the first people that really like shouted me out, you know what I'm saying? But there's a plethora of people like of that magnitude who was just hitting me up and shout me out and just like, yo, I see what you're doing. So one day I was actually going to meet my great-grandfather for the first time. He's 92, right? And he lives in Centerville, Mississippi. Now, apparently, he played with Fats Domino's, right? In a band with Fats Domino. That's a historical New Orleans musician, right?
Okay.
But he decided to, you know, take care of his family instead of hitting the road, right? And I learned all this when we was up there, you know, well, when I was up there, I took the ride or whatever. He teaching me guitar shit, whatever. So I'm leaving, and as I'm leaving Mississippi, the police was following me the whole time. It's like a dark road, you feel me? Like, soon as I'm about to cross the state lines, I get a phone call. It's like a random phone call. And the person addressed themselves, his name is Dorian Francis, right? He like, I know you don't know me, but I've been monitoring you for some time now, and I see you've been being consistent. You know, I had just released the Chopper Style cover that I did for the Earhart Express. He was like, when I heard you say certain bars on that, I was like, no, I gotta call you today. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when he called me, you know, he was just basically letting me know if there's any way he can aid me, whether it's advice, sharing resources, whatever, like, you know, tap in, right?
Mm-hmm.
From that point, I ain't gonna lie, like when he said it, like I felt the genuineness in it, but I was just a little like, all right, I hear this all the time, you feel me? But he told me, man, send me some of your material, you know? I didn't know for what, but I just followed up.
Mm-hmm.
A few days later, I get a call from Essence. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we checked out your work. We want to have you a part of this year's Essence Fest. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was a bit surreal, man, because, like, this was the first year they had it since the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the year before the pandemic kicked off or whatnot, I had a friend that I met through the open mic scene. Her name is Saint Mercedes. She's an incredible, singer, right? And she's on there just like performing at the Essence Fest. But she asked me for a ride that year, right? So I just did it out of love, like off the strength. I bought it. I remember going backstage, dropping off, and I'm like, man, I want to be on the stage one year. You dig? And then even before that, I was working right across the street from the convention center, where they host a lot of the Essence festivities or whatever. I was working at New Balance inside of the Riverwalk, right? And people used to be coming up and stealing shoes and all type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, just to go to Essence. And I used to be like, man, this is out the chain. I really got to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to be on that stage was like, you know, a full circle moment, you know what I mean? So that's how it came about.
Yeah. How was the crowd's reaction to you perform, man? Did you get a lot of love from it?
I got a lot of love.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. But it was more so just like, I was just more proud and happy that my people, like my family, had a chance to celebrate that moment with me. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing my moms and my grandma getting carted backstage, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the real highlight for me more than anything. It was just another day at the office for me. But, you know, to see them experience that moment was everything.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. That's really why you do this, man. For your people can experience like all the glitz and glamour and being, you know what I mean, chauffeured and just being pampered, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's really why you do it, because I know as creatives, you just like, I'm just trying to do something, you know, I just want to be creative and get this shit out. But it really feels good when you get to, when people acknowledge your work, one, and then your family get to benefit from you doing something that you just would do anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's dope, man.
Exactly.
That's freaking dope. Dang. And hopefully they'll start bringing you back, you know what I'm saying? Because I never been to Essence Festival at all, period.
But you
But
gotta go.
I know. Everybody tell me, man.
You ever been to New Orleans?
Yeah. I've been to New Orleans a bunch of times,
For sure.
especially living in Houston all those years. So I've been to New Orleans, but I've never been to Essence Festival. So I heard they had like one, like I guess it's a small stage, and then they got one big, huge stage. Is that?
Yeah, so you have the Superdome, right? That's where all of the you know, the headliners at. You know what I'm saying? Like this year was Nicki Minaj and Janet Jackson and Isley Brothers, so they all at the Superdome. And then you have the convention center. That's where a lot of people just come, period, just to enjoy the festivities. That's like the bulk of the festivities at the convention center. So they have different stages that's ran by certain companies or sponsored by certain companies. Like I was on a Coca-Cola stage, but then you had a Disney stage, then you might have a McDonald's stage, you know what I mean? But that's what most of the people at for the festivities. You just go to the Superdome for like the big
concerts.
Yeah, the concert.
Okay. So the convention center, probably a lot of vendors in there. Different stages, like y'all said.
Exactly.
Okay, so people just walking around shopping, listening to music. Oh, okay. Okay, man, I gotta go, man.
You got to.
I gotta go. I heard that's Auntie Central.
Yeah.
The Teeters.
Yeah,
That's what we call them, Teeters.
Teeties.
Yeah, Teeters, yeah.
Get you a nice old school woman up at the Essence Festival.
But I love Cougars. I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, man. That is freaking dope,
What's
man.
shout out all the Cougars and Mills, right?
Yeah, you know, every Monday I got it's MILF Monday on my end, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, holla at your boy, you know what I'm saying?
Man, y'all don't want to mess with the MILFs, man.
No, I'm messing with
Yeah.
Why not?
No, I ain't gonna lie. They the best thing and the worst thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're the best thing because they gonna teach you a bunch, but they gonna try to suck the youth out of you. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Literally and figuratively. They try to take your youth from you.
Yeah, for sure.
How you doing old shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where you wear a linen outfit with some Jesus sandals, you know what I'm saying? To go to,
Yeah, at the cookout.
yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though, I had a couple of encounters, you know, with some Cougars and some Mills, and my grandma, like, she ain't like it.
Yeah.
That's what she said though, you know, like, nah, 'cause they just trying to take your youth from you, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But I'm
man.
like, hey, I don't mind. She can take my
You
youth.
can have it. You can have it. Have it.
Hey,
You
I'm
can
giving
have
back to the community, you know what I'm saying?
it. That's what's up, man. I used to live with an older woman, man.
Yeah.
She had 2 kids, and then she adopted her brothers and sisters. So it was me, her,
Hello, wait.
4 other, yeah.
So you was a young stepdad?
Yes,
I
yes.
know what was the age separation between you
We
and
the
the
same
kids.
age,
Right.
right?
So
You talk to me.
we used to make jokes about that too. I think I was 27. Her son was 20,
Yeah.
18 to 20, somewhere in there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was like we be at the same clubs. You know what I'm saying? We used to be like, nigga, man, it was
And
crazy,
you gotta
man.
be inside.
Yeah, it was crazy, but she taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, cause I was still young. I was still chasing this entertainment dream. You know what I mean? And she just taught me a lot about taking care of women, responsibilities, and she was a hustler. You know what I'm saying? She was like a real straight up hustler. So shout out to her, man. Shout out to her,
Shout out
man.
to whoever you are.
Yeah, I don't want to say her name.
No,
Yeah.
shout out. No incrimination though.
Yeah, man, I am really feeling y'all whole vibe, man. I know y'all gonna do fucking some great shit. You know what I'm saying? Great things coming, man. Anything you want to promote right now, or anything you got coming up that you want the people to be up on?
Yeah, 100%. So off top, you know, we got the project coming, Great Habits, Great Heights. You know what I'm saying? That's a project we working on. We just locked in. Created so many songs in a matter of a week, you know what I'm saying? So we just still building.
We're on the Machiavelli style.
Yeah, we just going there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pac though. That's one of my favorite artists of all time.
Y'all record at somebody's house, or y'all got a studio that y'all actually go to?
So the way I do it is like I do it at the house, you know what I mean? And when it's time to get it mixed and mastered, I ship it out or I go to the studio, you know what I mean, to get it. Yeah, but we be at the house with it, you know, got the setup and just, yeah. Matter of fact, I meant to say that too. You familiar with 1500 or nothing?
Yep.
Yeah, so I just got the full scholarship to attend.
Word.
The 1500 Sound Academy.
Oh, that's dope, man.
Yeah,
that's
man.
that's
So that's
super
something
dope.
that's coming up. My mom and I, we founded a water company that I was inspired by Hurricane Katrina. You know, that picture I showed
Y'all
you.
found it or y'all
Like,
funded?
No, founded. Like, we have our own water company now.
Really?
Water, yeah. It's called E-List Water. E-List Water.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, that'll be in the airport, MSY airport this year in New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? So that's something to look forward to. So if ever y'all flying to New Orleans, you know what I'm saying, Louis Armstrong, make sure y'all look, yeah, you did.
That's
So,
dope.
you know, man, like I said, just keep working. I'm working on getting into this acting space as well, you feel me? So doing auditions at the moment, you know, just working, man. But I do want to say shout out to John, 100%, you know what I mean, for, yeah. And also KG told me to let you know it's him with it. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
so it's
Shout out
yeah.
to KG, man.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
to KG. That's what's up.
What you got coming up?
Right now, I'm really promoting. Actually, I am a full chef. That's what I went to school for. So
Cooking and everything.
cooking and everything.
He
so
legit with it.
Real legit.
legit.
In the kitchen and in the studio.
Yeah, I'm
That's
cooking up all the time. So,
Okay.
If it's not beats, I'm really in that kitchen. So I'm really starting to promote my private chef and meal prep and private dinner services that I offer. So if you ever need anything like that, holla at me, Chef J. Alexander.
What's like your specialty, man? Where you like people gotta have this? They gotta try mine.
For me, I gotta have them crawfish egg rolls. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Off the chain.
Really?
Off the chain.
Okay.
That recipe came out of the pandemic. I was trying to do something quick for like a pop-up event, and I was like, I don't want to do wings. That's too simple. So I was like, crawfish, cool. Did a little egg roll, tried it out, and then I came out here for Friendsgiving and popped up on him with him, and he was like, all right, look, how much you want for one? And I'm like, what you mean? He was like, how much you selling them for? And I'm like, I ain't got no price on it. He was like, well, look, here go $3. I'm going to buy this one right here. Just name your price going forward. And I was like, all right, I got a market for it. So this man really, with the great habits, great heights, he really put a fire under me to, get on the ball with my talents. So,
God, man, y'all are like a dynamic duo, man. Y'all like a dynamic duo. I don't know if y'all sense it or y'all can see it, but like your talents, like it's amazing to see when two people like that could just y'all have good energy. Y'all both talented in your own right, man. Like y'all stick together. You know 100%. What I'm saying? 100% stick together and make sure that y'all putting y'all efforts into something that y'all both, y'all both can leave to y'all kids whenever. Y'all don't got kids written down, do y'all?
Not yet.
Yeah.
I definitely want some though, but go ahead.
Yeah. Man, I'm just feeling like both of y'all, because when y'all talking, y'all seem so laid back and chill, but I can tell like y'all are super talented. You know what I mean? And I don't know if y'all, sometimes, I know sometimes that y'all get so, I call it like the Jay-Z effect, right? Jay-Z was so good at rapping in the beginning that he didn't really take care of his talent. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, I got to make this money. And this is me just studying Jay-Z, because he's one of my favorite rappers, that in the beginning, he was just like, I know I could do it, so I'll go back to that. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I'm in these streets and I'm hustling and making this money. But it's like, nigga, your talent is what's going to get you out of here. And once he realized that, like, that's when he put all the other shit behind him. You know what I mean? And I know sometimes as creative, you could kind of get like, I can always do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I am so talented. But it's like, nah, if you focus on this certain thing, y'all be out of here. Y'all be able to live the life that you want to live. Kind of like when you were saying how your grandfather, where he decided to stay home and take care of the family. Yeah. You know what I mean? Instead of going on the road, you don't know where
that would have led.
Yeah.
100%. And you're so right, too, as far as Jigga, because that's one of the first artists, like hip-hop artists, that I was introduced to. You feel me? And it's like, I see a lot of parallels in a sense, because right now with the Great Habits, Great Heights project, that's a whole mindset shift for us. That's what it's symbolic of. Like, once you change your habits and your mindset, you could ascend to greater heights, right? And for a long time, I was doing a lot of them things, you know what I mean, to survive, right? But then it came to a point where I noticed, nah, this was actually going to help me get to my next point. So since I've been here in Dallas, living here in Dallas, it's been just extreme concentrated focus. And all of this stuff has been coming since I've been actually focusing on music and not being distracted with all the other.
Yeah, man.
Yo, shout out to Jigga. That's my birthday twin, December 4th. So,
okay.
Just to piggyback off of that, I've always looked at myself, because my pops put Jay-Z in my ear early, Pac, Big, all of them. And once I figured out we had the same birthday, I was like, it was kind of like a plan I had set out. I was like, I'm gonna go about it the reasonable doubt way. It's like, and it's funny now. I'm coming up on 27. I'm 25 right now, so I already know it ain't a matter of if, it's just when.
Right. Yeah. But look, since he shouted out his birthday twin, I gotta shout my birthday twin. Shout out to the king of pop. You know what I'm saying, Michael Jackson. Hey, real talk though, I had a dream, man. Michael Jackson came to me in a dream as a kid and as a adult. Right? And he always just came, like, spoke to me about my time coming. You feel me? And it's just crazy because it was like the same dream but from multiple angles. Like I remember one time I'm on the stage performing. It's a large crowd, right? But I can't necessarily understand what they saying, but I know they singing my song back to me. So that's one dream. It felt so real, right? Another dream, I'm sitting like in the nosebleed section, right? But it's just me and Mike up there. And it's like that's me performing on stage, but it's me and Mike, and he's like, "Don't worry, your time is coming. Just be patient." You know what I'm saying? Then it's just like different dreams, real talk, different dreams like that. And it's like, for some reason, Mike just always been connected to my story. So I got to shout out to, you know, my birthday twin as well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Mike.
Shout out Mike.
Man, this is dope, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Thank y'all for tapping in for sure, man.
Vakuland.com. Check it out.
Yes, sir. Yo, man, leave y'all socials, man, so people want to get in contact with y'all. They'll be able to do that.
Mine is _ the J Alexander Show, just like Chef J Alexander. So you can find my food, graphic design, and you might catch a snippet of young Allay Earhart on there.
Yeah, and as you said, Allay Earhart, that's my social media all over. Instagram, Twitter is at LA. That's ALLAYEARHART. Make sure you follow the water company, Eliss Water, ELISS Water. Then we got Vaku, so that's at the Vakuland, VAKULAND. Check us out.
That's what's up. And when do you start the 1500 nothing Academy? When do you start that?
August 2nd.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's coming up real soon.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Yo, man, thank y'all for tapping in, man. This has been the Tap In Podcast. We are out of here. Peace.